Now this exercise is called a door jamb squat. I'm going to show you the different progressions that we can do here today. Obviously, yes, this is not a door jamb, but my lighting is way better over here, but I'll provide some context for you, okay? Now, the reason a door jamb squat may be suggested is that we may have to actually challenge the quads, or there's a lack of exposure that you've had to lumbar spine flexion or hip flexion. So talk to one of our trainers to see if it's right for you, but there's endless ways to progress this or regress it based upon your knee health, your hip health, and so on. So normally what we like to have people do is we find a doorway, right? Here's the doorway, both sides here. And if you're probably under 6 foot, like you can get away with being in a doorway. But this is why understanding the basics of it actually comes down, because like if you're taller than that, your hips are going to hit the back of the doorway. So you may not be able to actually do it, so you got to have something which basically the door jamb is a counterbalance. So I'm going to act like the doorway's here. I'm going to keep my feet completely rooted into the floor, meaning if I had a big puddle of mud and I was trying to leave a footprint, you would see all of my footprint, all of my toes, all of my ball of my foot, all my heel, everything, the entire duration of the exercise. And you would grab the door jamb and you would squat your way down. This is where the counterbalance is going to come in, because I'm going to have to raise my heels or lift my toes. But my counterbalance or door jamb up high, you would grab the portion of the door jamb which still keeps a full foot contact. See, my toes are raising. Keeps a full foot contact. And then is uncomfortable on the remainder of you. Some people have shoulder conditions that can't lift up as high. Some people have neck ones. In that case, look up or down. So they find the position that feels very comfortable, but also the ability to stay there for about a minute if you needed to. So I don't know if you guys can tell, I've been down here for about 30 seconds or so. I'm not really struggling. This is a very easy position if I just fully take most of the effort out of it. If I go up here and I'm fighting, yeah, I'm not going to last very long. But first is you want to find the deep door jamb position with a full foot contact that biases the front part of the foot. My heel's not lifting, but I'm pulling my body weight into this part here. And then you just hang out and breathe. I'm going to breathe into my thighs. And just spend about a minute doing so. So that's progression 1. Progression 2 is actually going to the movement of the door jamb squat itself. So that's going to be moving up and down with the tracker beam that I don't have into all ranges of the position or of the exercise without really spending too much time in each. You may be suggested reps or sets or intensities with this, okay? So that is a movement-based one. Not everybody can go through that, and actually some people with knee conditions won't be able to go this low. In that case, we're probably going to suggest that you do something else. Now, what we can do though, if we wanted to challenge the quads with a knee-dominant pattern, we can actually use an isometric with doing this. So I would hold the door jamb, and I would take my spine out of the equation just by letting it kind of sag, and I would let my hip pockets drag up the wall behind me to this position for me, because I'm shaking already. All right, we're basically going to find a position that feels like your quads are about to get crushed, but also doesn't painful to be in. So some people we've noticed that actually have some types of old lumbar spine issues actually favor this one very well over different types of squatting patterns. And so we can really challenge their quad muscles here in the front uniformly on both sides at the same time without really having a lot of fallout. So going just like so, or down here. But what you're going to notice is that you're going to last a lot longer if you go backwards. So make sure you do have a full foot contact. And you see how I'm not really using too much of the support, but I'm using a little bit. You have to use more when you're in the rested position. So with isometrics, we usually hold for intensity. Time does matter sometimes, so you may be told about 30, 45-second hold and then about a 2-minute break, or you may be told to hold with intensity. So I'm going to go up here to hold this position for as long as I can until my quads literally fail because they're so tired. And then I'm going to come down or walk around for about 30 seconds and then come back and probably do it again. But remember, listen to what your trainer's guidelines are on it. Okay? Now, for some people, we can't actually start at the bottom. We have to start at the top. And those are usually people who have old knee injuries. And so we can go here, same principles apply, and you sit your hips back, make sure you're not rocking back, and then you're going to find the deepest position that your knees can take, and then you hang out right there and hopefully give a quad burn. Now let's just cover some fine points. What we don't want is the knees caving in, okay? What we know about a squat pattern is it doesn't go really well if the knee, one or both knees cave in. So if you actually take note of your footprint here, you'll notice that when you bring your knee in, it's like your foot, we call it sickling. So it's like when you go like this, it's the inner part starts to go there, then you see this little toe, this big toe start to go out, like a bunion's forming, and this part gets looser on the floor. But if you really pay attention to what your footprint is, you'll probably get it right, okay? So it's a full footprint the entire way to the hardest position, then you hold, and so on. So that is our door jamb squat series. It can be used as a very easy breathing exercise. It can be used as a challenging isometric, or it can be used as a repetitious one. Either way, it can be very helpful. Listen to what your trainer says and subscribe to our channel if you have any concerns or you want to follow more of these cool exercises. See you next time.